Get the connection there. I'm the guy they named that beautiful bay after, and then, many years later, why they built this gorgeous inn, named that after me too, and just recently, they converted the gift shop into a pub, and you'll notice my picture's up there, Rowley's Pub. So I'm going to tell you about how that all happened. I'm going to tell you about a lot of very important Native American life and events that have occurred here over the ages. I'm going to tell you about some interesting economic development projects that went right on at this site. And I'm going to tell you, most importantly, about a great northern door tradition, the fish boil. To get started, I want to make sure we all understand the geography. So this is a brief geography lesson. It'll be painless, I promise. Door County is divided into two very distinct parts. Now, you've all been by, maybe through, Sturgeon Bay. That's our county seat. Everything south of Sturgeon Bay is connected directly to the mainland of the state of Wisconsin. Everybody north of Sturgeon Bay, like where we are now, is a part of the Northern Door Peninsula. You all remember that a peninsula is a bunch of land completely surrounded by water. So, as I tell my stories, I'm going to mention those bodies of water frequently, so quickly let me review what they are. Surrounding the peninsula are three bodies of water. You went across, probably on a high bridge, the first body of water. It was the Sturgeon Bay Ship Canal. And as you went over that body of water, you were heading directly north, and on your right, you probably saw it in the distance, was Lake Michigan proper. And on your left, you couldn't see it from the bridge, is the Bay of Green Bay. So remember, Door County Peninsula, shaped like a squiggly triangle, has on the south the Ship Canal, which you've been over, on the east, Lake Michigan proper, and on the west, the Bay of Green Bay. They all meet, two of those bodies of water, Lake Michigan and the Bay of Green Bay, meet 45 miles north of Sturgeon Bay at a little hamlet called Northport. If you haven't been here, you ought to drive it. It's about a 20-minute drive from where we are now. Go back into Ellison Bay to Highway 42, turn right, and take it till it ends. And you'll end at this little hamlet, tiny little place. You'll get out of your cars, and you'll be looking out at a very fast-moving, treacherous-looking channel. It's where the waters from the Bay of Green Bay on your left are rushing into the waters of Lake Michigan proper on your right. That's why you get this turbulent flow. And at that spot, we locals refer to it as Death's Door. So now you know how Door County got its name. It's got its name from that channel. And of course, the word death modifies the word door to refer to all of the boating and maritime accidents that have occurred in that channel over the last many decades. Now, I've already pointed out Rowley's Bay. There's one other body of water out front that you also need to know about. When you all look at that point of land that juts out into Rowley's Bay, you see white water coming in. You all see that point of land? The waters just beyond it are the waters of the Mink River. The Mink River is a short, tiny river, runs about 3.5 miles in length, headwaters in the little village of Ellison Bay down the line. So what you've got out front are the waters of the Mink River flowing into Rowley's Bay, which in turn flows right into Lake Michigan proper. As you're entering to eat tonight into the dining room, before you open the doors, just glance beyond the roofs of those maroon-colored buildings across the road. Avert your eye to the right, and you'll see where Rowley's Bay empties into Lake Michigan proper. Now, here's my story. It's 1660. Gosh, that's a long time ago. Unbelievably long time ago. All of us good Americans learn a lot about American history, but the dates start like in the 1700s. But I'm talking about an important event that occurred in the 1600s. And it occurred about 300 to 400 miles from where we are right now, in what was then called the Territories. No state of Wisconsin yet in 1600s, but we did have those colonists out east referred to us out here as the Territories. So down in the middle of the territory was a very, very substantial, well-known Native American tribe, and that tribe was, the Potawatomis, was in desperate straits. Down in the center of the territories, their hunting and fishing capabilities were not keeping up with the growth in the population of the tribe. And in addition, their attempts to grow crops in gardening were not making out well either. So the tribe elders got the tribe together and said, you know, we're going to run into very, very grave difficulties just keeping fed unless we move to a place where the fishing, the hunting, and the growing of vegetables and crops improve. So they sent their scouts out and told the scouts to take whatever time they needed and to come back with a recommendation on where the tribe might move. And those scouts came back maybe 3-4 months later. We're not sure of the exact dates there. But in the early 1660s, they advised the tribe that if they wanted to take care of their food supplies needs, they needed to move closer to the Great Lakes than they were down in the middle of the territories. And so, in approximately 1660, 1661, they got in their canoes, the whole Bloomin' tribe, and they began to paddle northeast along a river that was unnamed at that point, but now known to all Wisconsinites as the Fox River. So they paddled on the Fox River up through what Wisconsinites refer to as Paper Valley, where all of the nation's major paper firms are located. Boy, I'll tell you, down there were the toilet paper capital of the world, among other things. And they kept paddling up the Fox River, and finally, after many, many weeks of paddling, they entered the Bay of Green Bay. That's the body of water to the west. They entered at what now became the city of Green Bay. So they paddled into the bay. They paddled for another day or two further north beyond what was then the village of Green Bay. And they stopped at a little hamlet still on Wisconsin road maps named Red Banks. And they settle their canoes. They begin to build temporary housing. They start to farm, to fish, and to hunt. But after a few months, it's very clear to them that this location in Red Banks was not going to meet their needs. The hunting and the fishing was barely better than it was in the middle of the territories. And so the chieftains of the tribe said, back in the canoes, and they began to paddle further north, again out in the Bay of Green Bay at the western shore of the peninsula. At this point, some great good luck occurred for them. They were joined in their travels by a Roman Catholic Jesuit priest by the name of Father Andre, Father Louis Andre. The Catholic Church had a major presence in the territories, even beginning in the 15th century. But by 1600s, they were well established, especially a headquarters location in the village of Green Bay. And they ordered Father Andre to do the following things, two things. One, please convert as many Native Americans to Christianity as you can. And we know by official church records that Father Andre was very successful in doing that. And secondly, they wanted him to work with the Potawatomis as they made this journey to find a new home location and to help them adjust to that new location. And so, Father Andre joined the Potawatomis. They continued to oar up to the Death's Door. They got through Death's Door without any problem. And after a day or two, they came southbound along the shore of Lake Michigan into this fabulous bay, unnamed at that point. They paddled right on through the bay and right on up the Mink River, where, God is great, they found an abundant supply of wild rice, which could meet their immediate hunger needs. So we've got the wild rice fully grown. Clearly, since the wild rice is growing well, other crops can be cultivated. And quickly, they found that the hunting and fishing out here was superb. And so the Potawatomis, again,